to Horse Talk, where we are going to talk about mental and physical training for the rider that instantly makes a difference. Because if you have been training or riding horses, you have probably heard that it's important to, be relaxed and stay positive. And definitely, if we get scared, that's not a good thing to be around horses because horses are going to pick up on it immediately. So you might have heard stuff like, don't worry, don't be scared, or this is just going to go very well. Nothing to worry about, right? That is, of course, it's good advice, but it's not necessarily helping. And this is because our brains, we cannot not think about something. So if you are out riding and you experience something that makes you a bit anxious or scared, and you immediately go like, don't be scared, don't be scared, nothing to worry about. That's not how the brain works. Your brain is going to hear words like scared and worry, and that's going to make your body even stiffer and your breath even, hollower. Yes. So, and also if we kind of try to convince ourselves, like, this is nothing to be worried about, or don't be scared, this is just blah, blah, blah. That's also not working because we can't convince our brain or our thoughts by going directly against them. And once I learned this, it has completely changed the way I feel when training horses, even the ones others have given up on because they have been dangerous or riders have fallen off and ended in the hospital, and that's why you get the horse for free. Even with horses like that, this immediately works. And I'm going to tell you what to do. Because you need to kind of go a bit with your brain first and then try to redirect it. So obviously, don't tell yourself not to be scared and don't tell yourself not to worry. What you need to say to yourself and think is the magic words of what if it goes well, which changes everything. Because by saying to yourself, what if it goes well, you acknowledge your past experience or your brain's, worry signals, and say you are not kind of dismissing them and trying to fight them by saying, this is nothing to worry about. You go with it, go like, okay, I hear you, brain, and I hear your past experience, and I hear you, train of thought. We obviously notice that we are anxious, but what if it goes well? And you have then instantly redirected your mind from imagining everything that can go wrong to, imagining what can go well. So if next time you're out horseback riding or taking a riding lesson or trying a horse that you are considering buying, obviously, we get a bit nervous and scared when training or riding horses we're not familiar with. And if then somebody tells you, don't be scared, this horse is completely trustable, then, don't go there. Just say to yourself, what if it goes well? And you will start imagining the stuff going well, which is going to affect obviously your state of mind, but also your body. So let me know in the comments below if you found this tip helpful. Yes. And there are other phrases as well that we tend to hear as riders and horse trainers. And I think one thing that is obviously very important when with horses is to not take the stuff the horse is doing personal, which again is easier said than done. So if I'm saying to you, don't take it personal when your horse acts up, that's probably not going to be very helpful. But if I give you a tool and something you can think and say to yourself when your horse is acting up, that is more helpful, then that would obviously be more productive, right? So when you find yourself in a situation where you are taking stuff personally, which usually this is something that tends to kind of happen subconsciously all the time. The minute we are labeling something, we are actually taking something personal. So if we label something as bad behavior or something as good or whatever label it is based on a personal preference, right? But to avoid all of that and not become upset when the horse is upset and taking stuff the horse is doing personal or labeling it as bad, what we can say to ourselves instead is actually the magic words. It's only 2 words actually, and that's interesting. Yes, it changes everything. So I was retraining a mare that I also got by mysterious ways, and I had been doing quite a bit of groundwork with her, and she was doing great at Liberty in the inside arena. But then I took her out to the outside arena. And although I had kind of the feeling that the mare had totally transformed and magic has happened and she was in a total different place than what she was when she came to me, she started bucking and grunting and was very upset. Her neck was stiff and she was bucking and she made these strange noises. And if I had gone into the pitfall of taking this personally and like, oh, my training doesn't work and I've done so much with this mare and now she's freaking out and this is really bad and what do I do now? Obviously that would have not been helpful in the situation, because then not only the mare would have been upset, but I would have been upset too. Instead, I said to myself, this is interesting. And I just continued communicating with her through body language by stepping forwards and just obviously watching the interesting behavior. And when she was relaxing and started flicking an ear towards me and had stopped bucking and grunting and bolting, I then stepped backwards and released on it. Yes, good evening, Raven. So nice to see you here. So the phrase, that's interesting, if you can write it on your hand so that every time something happens to you that you might feel upset about, you just go, that's interesting. It's not necessarily good, it's not necessarily bad, it's just interesting. And it's gonna instantly calm down our nervous system and actually help us do the right thing in the situation. Thinking that this is bad, this is horrible, nothing works, oh my God, she's freaking out, what do we do now? Don't be scared, don't worry, it's not gonna help. Saying to yourself, and your horse, obviously, that's interesting. Yes. And the third tip I'm gonna give you, which I think you obviously already know, is that when training horses and in life in general, we need to be patient because good things take time. And obviously, if we have expectations, we tend to become disappointed. So expectations is the mother of all disappointments. But also, just telling someone to be patient isn't necessarily helping. But what I try to say to myself is that good things take time. So that's also something I, thought when this mare was having this meltdown, although I had trained her for quite a while. It was like, yeah, good things take time. And it's also not unnormal for a horse to revisit past behaviors. So if a horse has been behaving a certain way for several years and you have made huge progress and you start, expecting to be for the horse to be like the horse was yesterday, and then the horse does something completely different, then just say to yourself, good things take time. And revisiting past behavior, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean we haven't made progress. It actually very often is what is needed to make progress. That the horse expresses him or herself and finds, another way of behaving. And that we, by, staying calm and staying present and not becoming impatient and upset, are able to release on the right thing, because horses, they do more of what we release on. Yes, so I hope this helps. And if I were you, I would maybe even write those phrases down so that you have them available, not only when training your horse, but for any situation in life. So I'm just going to recap them so that you can take notes. And that's, obviously, if you get scared, don't try to tell yourself out from being scared. Say to yourself, what if it goes well? And the next tip was to, not take stuff personally and not label stuff. But when stuff happens to you in life that you might not expect, or you find yourself labeling stuff as bad or horrible or whatever, say to yourself, that's interesting. Yes. And the last part was to keep ourselves patient, is to say to ourselves that good things take time. Yes, Solveig, so happy to hear that you like the tips. Yeah, because, I've been taking riding lessons myself, and having a trainer telling me that don't worry and don't take it personal, or, don't be scared, is not necessarily helping, because just by mentioning the word, we start thinking about it. Like if I say to you, don't think about yellow bananas, you are not going to not think about yellow bananas. You are obviously going to think about yellow bananas. But if I say, what about the other fruits? Then you start thinking about the other fruits. Yes. Okay, I really hope this helps. And if you like tips like this, then make sure to join the Art of the Horsemanship online fair. Because what I shared with you this evening, you are going to get tips like this and lots more, because I think there are about dozens of horse trainers, world known horse trainers, have come together and offered an online fair where you can get tips from a saddle fitting expert on how to fit the saddle to your horse. And you're going to get tips from a mindset expert on how to get a better mindset when training your horse. And you're also going to then get tips from a clicker training expert on how to clicker train your horse, if you're interested in that. And I also have some sessions during the fair which are about problem solving, how to solve behavior problems in a way that lasts. So I'm very, very excited about this. And I'm also, of course, very excited to be part of the Art of the Horsemanship online fair. And if you want the link to join, where you can actually get free tickets to the fair, then please comment yes below in this video, and I will send the link to you on a DM. Because I'm not sure that everyone gets free tickets. You need to have like this special link, and as a speaker, you can invite, friends and family and others to join. So just comment yes below and I will give it to you. And in case you don't know, then my name is Katrine and I am a horse trainer from Norway. And I think I'm the only Norwegian during the Art of the Horseman. There are trainers from all over the world. And I am very, very excited not only to take part, but also definitely to watch it and get the most out of this program. Yes, and I can't believe it's free. So, warm welcome and make sure to set off the dates and secure your tickets. Okay, and thank you so much for joining this evening and looking very much forward to seeing you there. Okay, bye for now.